Well, hello, good people. It's time for an episode of Creatively Shaded, your destination for all things Bay Area theater and beyond, honey, where the dish is served and the tea is hot. So let's join our hosts, Bay Area Black artist
Elizabeth Jones,
Shawn J. West,
Phaedra Tillery Boughton.
Come peek behind the curtain.
What up?
What up?
We are back.
We're back.
Did you miss us?
Season 2, ooh.
We have begun.
Season 2,
It is season
ooh.
Season 2, episode 1.
Of Creatively Shaded. I know we've been going for a while, y'all.
I know.
A long while.
So long.
We've been doing a lot.
We have. So should we share with everybody?
Yeah.
And you know what? We've missed y'all.
Yes, but we do appreciate the love you give us when you see us out and about. Mm-hmm. That is so appreciated.
Well, when you see us out in these theater streets, y'all been giving us all kind of love. Thank you for inviting us to come see your shows. Thank you for coming out and talking to us after performing. Mm-hmm. We have really enjoyed supporting you these last couple of months while we've been kind of doing our own thing. But let's talk about what have we been doing. Liz, what you been doing? What you been doing? Why you been busy?
So let me tell you what had happened.
Oh, God.
So... All right, so I was in a comedy of errors at Marin Shakes, and I was doing that in the summer. And that included acting and sword fighting and all kinds of stuff. And then...
Wait, you were sword fighting?
I was sword fighting with a real sword.
Ooh.
And I had a fake pregnant belly.
Wait, ShawnJ, you made a face?
Was it a real sword or a prop sword?
It was a real rapier dagger.
Okay.
Wait.
It was a rapier and a sword. So I used both.
It was heavy.
They are heavy. And you train with them and you whew.
Yeah.
I love stage combat. It's so fun. I loved it. So that's one of the things I was doing. While I was also there, let me tell you what else I had to do.
Why are you being so dramatic?
Because Liz is back and we back and Liz
we're back
is
and
Liz.
we're excited. So you guys, sis had to go get her a job.
Oh, I feel it.
A full-time job.
Okay.
A non-theater job.
A non-theater job.
Okay.
So another thing that I do is that I dealt with students and I been in the education system and I am a teacher and all those things. And I'm currently doing that in a middle school. Ooh. That's what I've also been doing.
Why your face like that?
Because the middle school children, they knew this time around. It's been about 5 years since I've been in the classroom. And these ones is different. I don't know if it was the pandemic or what, but they something else.
Okay.
I love y'all.
What they call you at school?
Oh my God, they call me Miss Jones, Miss Elizabeth, Miss JaJa, Miss J. Some of them call me Miss Jonas. Don't
Jonas
ask.
Brothers? You part of the brothers?
I don't know. But that's also what I've been doing. Okay. And then on top of that, you guys.
Come on, you better work it out.
I did my first professional lighting design job.
All right.
Elephant and Piggy, as of taping, the final show happened today. Elephant Piggy, we are in a play. It was with Play Theater, which was at the Children's Creativity Museum in San Francisco. I am so blessed. I have to shout out Stephanie Ann Johnson.
Come on.
And Ashley Monday, my mentors. When I tell y'all, I have fallen in love with lighting. And then I'm also a mom. Mm-hmm. And I also go to the gym and try to eat healthy.
So sis been busy.
That's why I ain't been on the socials. That's why you ain't seen me. I couldn't handle it. I said I can't learn lines and do this and it's too much. But I'm grateful to be back here. I have missed y'all. And I saw a couple of shows.
Oh, we're going to get to them shows. We're going to get to them shows.
All right.
ShawnJ, what you been doing?
Diva.
Well, I would say I have been hella busy. Which wasn't supposed to be the case theater-wise, but a friend of mine asked me to co-direct with them.
I wonder who that was.
I said yes. And so my summer went poof. And that was working with Miss Phaedra on Legally Blonde, the musical with Red Light Theater.
Yes.
So that took up a big part of my summer. And then my job is jobbing. So it's been challenging because we're going through some layoffs and stuff. And so I'm safe for now. And so, but it's been tense. So theater, job, and then life itself has been lifing. But I'm blessed and highly favored, so
Hallelujah.
I'm not gonna wallow in any kind of self-pity. But it's been good. It's been busy. It's just been busy.
You held auditions too, didn't you, ShawnJ?
Oh yes. So I thank you for reminding
you.
me. Yes, I am directing Wild with Happy at New Conservatory Theater, and we had auditions for that, and I've cast that. And we have a workshop in January, and then we start rehearsals in February.
Okay.
Hallelujah. Books for
So-
2025.
ShawnJ is booked and busy.
Yes, and Miss Phaedra,
Woo, child.
overly booked and busy.
God has been in the blessing business.
Yes, he has.
I also, of course, worked on Legally Blonde this summer, which was a very great success, I would say.
Yes.
That took a huge part of our summer. I was also in the Black Feminist Guide to the Human Body at the Lorraine Hansberry Theater.
Yes.
So that has been huge. And I am now in rehearsals for the upcoming New Roots Theater Festival held by San Francisco Bay Area Theater Company. And I'll be in a show called The Day the Sky Turned Orange.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, I'll also be directing a piece in the New Roots Theater Festival in the Creators Lab portion, which is called Bay Dreaming by Ashley Raggs. So yeah, she stays booked and busy. I am also back to teaching, which I teach 3 different locations. And one of them has been the biggest blessing I feel like to myself in my career thus far is I started teaching at San Francisco's Juvenile Hall and bringing theater into their classroom, which has been a journey, but also like I'm thankful for what I've been through in life to prepare me for this moment and to be able to give back to the students who really, 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 really need it.
Yeah.
And it's theater. Like, come on.
Come on.
There's some days they're with me and some days they are not. And they call me to the carpet, and that's what's cool. Like, I had a guy this week and he was like, we were playing Zip Zap Zop. And if you're a theater person, you know what Zip Zap Zop is. It's a very simple game, but it actually is talking about control, your mind control, eye contact, and it gets into deeper things. But if you're not thinking that way as a teenager, right? He was like, how's this going to help me in my world outside of here? Clapping and zipping and zapping. It's like, oh no. And I understood where he was coming from, right? Because the theater girl in me was like, everybody else was playing, but he was like, what the hell is this? And I remember being young in the 7th grade in a Black background, and we never played these theater games. And I was like, I thought I was coming to do a play. Like, why are we in here doing this? And so I had to sit down and really break down why we were playing this game and how it is going to help him in the world, because it actually will, and eye contact and your body language and all of those things. And by the end of the class, I will say he came around, and I was able to look at him and be like, thank you. And he was like, all right, I'll see you next week.
Okay.
So my little heart is touched, but I've been working, and I'm thankful for the work I'm able to do outside of here,
Yeah. So our calendar has definitely been filled.
Child, yes.
Baby.
Yes. So I'm really proud of us and what we're able to do. And of course, we are your host of Creatively Shaded. So let's get into it.
Oof. So, like we said, we've been out in these theater streets, and we have saw in our break, we were not breaking.
No.
Clearly, we all were working, but we were also coming out to support you and the shows that you're in. And so we're going to get a little talk about what we saw and what we enjoyed, what we didn't enjoy, how we felt about it. So we are out in these theater streets, yeah?
Yes.
Can I add to that also?
Sure.
Even though we were on hiatus visually from the show, we were still, like you said, seeing things so that you all knew we were still there.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to just go poof and you not know anything about us.
Right.
So we did really physically go to shows still when we were able to.
Yes.
Yeah, and you might have seen us in pieces. You might have seen me and ShawnJ, or ShawnJ and Liz, or me by myself.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
We're still trying, no matter what, we're trying to make it out and make it work for our calendars.
Yeah.
Sometimes our calendars don't work for all 3 of us to be together to record. But we want to make sure that at the bottom line of the show is supporting Black artists in the theater in Bay Area. And so as much as we can do that, we're going to go. So continue to send us invites of what you're doing, what you're in, because we like to be out there and make a little noise.
We laugh.
We laugh loud. I clap
do.
loud.
They don't just laugh loud. They talk back to?
Of course, because theater.
I don't do too much talking back.
Well,
I might, and
Yeah.
I might do that, but I ain't gonna say a whole conversation with you.
It's call and response. Call and response, more like call and response.
Well, you'll know I'm there. That's what. How about that?
And that happened when we saw Choir Boy. The actors were like going, "Oh, we do Phaedra was in the house."
Yes.
That's awesome because you need that love when
You
you
do.
on stage, especially when it's not an audience that look like you. You need to know that somebody is there and understands what you're going through and what you're talking about when you're telling our stories. Hello. You know your auntie sound like this.
Okay.
Anyway, so what we saw first, let's talk about Legally Blonde. We're not going to skip over. We're going to go right to it.
Legally Blonde.
Woo! Okay, Liz, we have to get our review kind of from you because we worked on it. We know what it was. We'll talk, ShawnJ, you and I can talk about our experience inside of the show. But Liz, talk about what your experience was seeing the show.
Okay, so I literally had to plan it out, figure it out. And so my daughter and I went to see it. When I tell you, the set was amazing. It was at the Victoria Theater in San Francisco, and these directors chose to use the entire stage. I'm not just talking about the proscenium, but the extended proscenium as well. They had scenes happening here. There was was it the hair salon happening here? Is that right? Mm-hmm. And then there was like a little, the judge room was on this side. I was like, wow. And the lights was light. I was like, ooh. Instantly. It was incredible. And before I speak about what I think, I want to kind of tell you guys about my daughter. So my daughter has a learning difference. She has a processing disorder, and she has ADHD. So for her, seeing theater, she's like not there, but she's there. So her experience is always a little unique. When I tell you, my daughter said, oh, I counted 6 Black people. So that's something that she does, right? Like she pays attention to those kind of details. She's like, there were 6 Black people in the show. She was like, oh, that was really funny. She was laughing at the inferences that was relating to our incredible Black culture. And she loved it. We had really good seats. We was right in the orchestra. So we were like, wow. And so she really loved it. She was able, oh, Mom, remember this? And I would ask her something, and she was like, oh, yeah, I really like that. She said, and she kept going back to, she's like, Mom, did you feel that? I was like, girl, I felt it. So my daughter does not have a lot of words, but when she does have the words, let me tell you, I knew that she was touched. And that really meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me. It touched me. She saw that because when she saw me in A Comedy of Errors, she said, she said, I don't know what happened, but I like the sword fighting. And I was like, great. And to me, that's like really wonderful, right? So she saw that. But this was something that specifically touched her. She had never seen Legally Blonde, the movies. Yes, I may have failed as a mom in that. But she I don't know. She's never seen the movies. She didn't know what she was going to.
Why would that make you, girl?
I don't know.
We're not.
No, because I think it's not really part of our culture.
That's
no,
true,
it's not.
Bend and snap. Okay, but it was like bend and snap. That's how it was. It was like bend and snap. So my daughter really, really loved it, and I am so thankful because that really speaks to how theater is universal. It speaks to everyone. If you pay attention to details, you can touch all types of people, all types of audience members. And for that, not to mention what I got out of it, but I was so, taken aback by my daughter. So I was experiencing it as well, but I was experiencing through her. And I just want to say thank you guys so much.
Oh, I love you, friend.
Thank you. Thank you. I loved it. She loved it. And it was incredible. And I ran into this actor who I worked with just recently this past week. She was like, oh, yeah, I saw Legally Blonde at Ray of Light, and I couldn't believe it was this Black. And I was like, honey, it was Phaedra and ShawnJ, my co-hosts, my friends, my loves of Creatively Shaded. So, of course, it was Black, blickety, black, black, black.
It was blickety, black, black, black. I will say that.
It was. So it was incredible. So I'll be quiet, but we loved it.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you,
I appreciate that. Working from the inside, I want to say thank you to my friend ShawnJ. I know that was a journey. We don't often have, you have co-directors. Directors are really protective about their work,
Yes.
and don't think that people can understand or see it the way they do. So I want to say thank you for being there and understanding the vision and taking it even further. I appreciate you. I enjoy working with you, even when you brought me Snickers, because we love Snickers for theater. But anyway, it was a fun process. I want to say there were stressful moments. Don't get me wrong. That was a very big cast. I believe it was 28.
It was big.
Either 27 or 28 folks. So it was a really big cast, which calls for a lot of work. But I thank the team at Ray of Light. I thank ShawnJ. I thank everyone who worked on the team, because everybody put their heart and soul in it, especially the cast members. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I got a lot of you came up to us, text us and let us know that you felt seen as a Black audience. So I appreciate that. I'm glad that I was able to reach you. I'm just looking for more opportunities to tell stories that feel and look like us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was the gift when you brought me on. I was like, Legally Blonde?
Mm-hmm.
That's really not in my wheelhouse. You know, it's like, because it's white. Let's just be real. It's a white show. And so she goes, oh, but here's my vision. And I was like going, oh, okay. And then she cast Majesty, who I love. And so I was like, okay, I'm on board. And so being in the room with Majesty, and yes, to your point, there was some stressful moments in which being in a predominantly white space and being a person of color, a Black man, there were some challenges. But I think as I will agree that the joy of the artists in the room and everyone, they were committed. So even though there may have been some stressful moments, everyone was committed to putting together a beautiful show. And having people text me, coworkers who
Night
saw
after
it
night.
and go, oh my God, like I didn't know there was a Legally Blonde the musical. And now this is like the only way I want to see it.
Yeah.
And I think having the aspect of having the three Black women in those main roles speaks to young Black girls and also everyone else to show them the range. Like those are three very specific,
very different Black women. And that was the biggest thing for me is that a lot of times on stage, on screen, you constantly are seeing the same type of Black woman, the same type of story told, and that's definitely not true. There's so many facets of us. There's so many layers to us, and so it was a great opportunity to be able to show that we exist in all forms, and to tell the story that way. I know one thing, and we're gonna move on because we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
But I gotta say thank you first for that opportunity.
Oh, I love you, friend. Of course. Listen, we got each other's back.
Yes.
But one of the things that was, I forgot what I was gonna say. One of the things that was dope about that I didn't expect to reach was a lot of gay Black males reached out to me with their emotions and their connection to the show, which I wasn't. Truth be told, I wasn't reaching for y'all. I love y'all, but I was really about telling the Black woman's story, and I realized in doing this that when you tell a Black woman's story, you take care of everybody. Ooh. Because the Black woman is the last woman on the totem pole. So when you raise the Black woman up to the top of the totem pole, she automatically takes care of everyone underneath her, which is why she's so important. Get out and vote. But anyway, VOTE. Get out and vote. But anyway, I just didn't realize I was touching so many people, and I got a lot of love from my queer community, which I'm so thankful for y'all to see me and to come at me and stop me and tell me about how I touched you. It has been beautiful, and it has been also like solidifying, like I am doing the right thing. I am like, sometimes we question ourselves as artists.
We do.
So that was really beautiful to feel like, oh, I'm validated. I am doing the right thing. I am reaching the right way.
It was fucking incredible. Excuse me.
Thank you.
It was.
and to add to that, the reality is when Black women are seen, we are seen. Because if you are invisible, we are invisible. And being the caregivers and the strength of our community, when you all are thrown to the side, we are also thrown to the side. So I think that experience that they spoke to you about is because, again, when you are seen, we are seen, which is why we have to always support you all.
Oh, come on, you're getting the message today on Creatively Shaded. Let's move on. Okay, next we're gonna scoot on to the Black Feminist Guide to the Human Body at the Lorraine Hansberry Theater,
starring our very own
Phaedra
Phaedra
and Paige and Jacinta.
And Paige and my sisters Jacinta and Paige. My gosh. That was a beautiful story to be a part of. I thank you guys for both being there. Those of you that came out, I hope you got a healing and you're still writing and talking about what you need for your body. Those that missed it,
You missed it.
That's all I can say.
It was beautiful.
It was very beautiful. I felt one of the things that was really incredible also was to kind of see its progression, because previously it started as, or the iteration that I saw was at the MOAD, the Museum of the African Diaspora in San Francisco, and they did a stage reading. And I immediately was so excited. I was like, I can't wait to see this. And it did not disappoint. It was just, I was like, man, I should have brought my mom. I was like, she would have loved this. It just spoke to my heart, I was like, oh, we being seen. It's just like, Black women, we winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, we doing what we do. We're being spoken to. We're being seen as multifaceted individuals. We're being uplifted. And it means a lot. Words can't really express that. And it was incredible.
Yeah. You all did that damn thing.
I think we should talk about what it was about. So,
oh, yeah.
we're all touched, but those of you that didn't see it,
yes.
The Black Feminist Guide to the Human Body was about Dr. Beatrice Free, who is a doctor, who's an educator, and she's writing a book about the Black Feminist Guide, how to live in this world, how to live in a Black body in the United States. She's with two parts of her body, so basically her mind and her soul. Yeah, sorry. I'm soul. I'm body. Yes, her body and her soul. Sorry, I didn't remember my lines. It's her body and her soul who are talking to her and making her remember what she's gone through as a Black woman as she's writing this book to Black women. So it's just all of her thoughts, and they're all out loud, and they're all, like I said, Black women are layers. So they're all these thoughts by her soul and her body. You know, sometimes your body hurts, sometimes your soul tell you to smoke a joint or take a shot or whatever the case may be. But she's with these two women, two
manifestations
there
of
you
her.
Go. Yeah, manifestations,
her spirit,
her inside.
Maybe? Or, yeah.
And we talk about the Black body. So it's a beautiful story and at the end, which my favorite part was, Black women had a chance to go into a room after seeing the show and journal about what they experienced and the advice that they want to give to other Black women about what it is to be a Black woman in the U.S. And a lot of those journals were tearjerkers. I was grateful to all of you Black women who did write in those journals. Like I said, in the show, I read them every day before going on. I never took any of that for granted. And remembered who I was speaking to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
We also saw
Mexodus.
Ooh, child.
At the Berkeley Rep.
Okay, so we did not go together.
We didn't.
We did not.
You guys went together.
We went opening
night.
And I went to after my show closed with Margo.
Yes.
And child, that was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
It was, oh my gosh.
Mexodus was at Berkeley Rep.
Yes.
And what was Mexodus about, y'all?
It was the untold story of the route that the Underground Railroad took going south. So it went into Mexico, which a lot of us, I didn't know.
Neither did I.
And it is told through music, percussion, song,
dialogue.
Technology.
It is so well orchestrated in its execution. I wanted to see it again.
I wanted to see it again and again and again and again.
But it was so well done. It was like everyone should see that show if they can, because it's just the untold story. There's so many untold stories in our history.
Yeah.
Or stories of our history that get washed
that get
over.
erased, which is why the theater has to exist for things like this.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
And it was an original piece. The two performers created it themselves.
In 2020. Did you read that? They've only been doing this for 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So they played several instruments on the set. The set was basically filled with instruments, and they were amazing storytellers. And there were loop buttons all around the stage because they brought up, of course, Berkeley Rep got money, so they got a little more finances for their set display. So their set, this like DJ mixer comes up out the set, and they're mixing the entire, every time they sing a song or have a sound effect or anything comes from them creating it on stage with their instruments or things to make like instruments. They even at one point used the audience
at the
to
end.
help make the sound. Like it was, he had spurs on his Adidas.
Yes. He did. I remember that.
It was just so
well done. So yeah.
And they used projecting really, really well as well. It was like happening. They had a projector that showed us it. It backlit also, and it showed his like how the actor was playing
the instruments,
the piano as well. The lights was off the hook.
Oh
everything.
my gosh.
I was just like in there. Like,
the lighting was amazing. The one light that they kept using to refer to was amazing. I was blown away. I was sitting on my edge of my seat like the entire
I told you
time.
You were gonna love it. And I got that text from you. I couldn't even.
It was like midnight after. It was like this show was so fire. I was still like reeling from it. It was some really amazing work. I know that everybody can't make the price point for Berkeley Rep. I know that those tickets are a little bit more expensive. So we're going to reach out to Berkeley Rep and see if in the future, if something like this is possible, if we can get a discount code or something for our community, because it's definitely deserved our community to see. Because like I said, I'm in 40, they're on 2, and I never heard about the Underground Railroad going to Mexico, that Mexico had even saved us or was a safe place for us.
Right.
I never learned it in an education book. I've never spoke of it. I like none of it.
And that speaks to how they separate us.
Divide us because that's the scariest thing for them.
We know, some of us know about that history and some of us don't.
Right.
And we get told different things that put us against one another.
Yeah.
When we are so much stronger together, and we've already proven that. Like the indigenous people of this land supported us during the enslavement of us.
Yes.
So we've always been connected. We just need to remember that and go out and vote. And remember that really importantly.
Absolutely. So we love that. And we want to thank Berkeley Rep for having us.
We love coming and supporting you. Thank you so much.
All right. So
also,
y'all
what else
saw
we
Choir
saw?
Boy.
Ooh, child. I saw Choir Boy. Choir Boy was
church say
I didn't see
amen.
Congratulations to Daryl V. Jones and the entire cast and creative team of Choir Boy. That was a beautiful show to witness as well. In the time of like finishing a black version of Legally Blonde and the Black Feminist Guide, and then going to see all these black men in Choir Boy. I mean, it has been a time for us black folks in the Bay Area theater scene, okay? Shine. It's time for us to shine, and definitely they shined in Choir Boy. My goodness. That's, first of all, the story itself is a beautiful story. It's written very well. I'm going to say my friend AJ choreographed the hell out of that show.
And it all fit. Like sometimes you can see choreo that doesn't fit the narrative.
Yeah.
This fit. The moment it started, because I saw it twice. Oh. And I was like, baby.
He choreographed the hell out of that show.
The narrative and the movements and how it fit and the rhythms, it was just, Baby Boy did that. And I was like, it was like, I was a prop papa.
A really, really good production. I'm really proud of them. They got extended like twice, which they all deserve that. So congratulations to Shotgun for Choir Boy. That was a really, really dope show to see for sure. We also got to see Once on This Island at Pear Theater. Me and ShawnJ went to see that. Did you see it too, Liz? Okay. So me and ShawnJ, how did you how did you feel about Once on This Island?
So I had never seen the show.
Okay.
I only know of the show and some of the music. And that LaShawn's, so that's kind of my connection to it. So I'd never seen it staged.
Right.
And so I was very curious about how it would be staged and how you would do that. So this production pared it down greatly. So there were only 6 actors.
I think 8.
6 or 8 actors who played all the characters.
Okay.
And I think it was nicely done. I think they have growing to do when it comes to some of the the talent. You know, but it was well done, right? It wasn't horrible. I didn't go, why am I here? It was just, it was nice to see it and see it come to life. I would love to see it again.
Yeah.
I would maybe actually want to direct it.
Okay.
And so it was it reawakened my love for big musicals and musicals that have actual storytelling intertwined in it.
Yeah.
I've seen Once on this Island several times. That is actually the first show that I ever saw on Broadway. And I saw it in the round, so I have a very sensitive heart when it comes to Once on this Island. Technically this story is a Black story about Black and lighter colorism. And so it's interesting that the Bay Area does this with not an entire Black cast. Now, I will say the cast was BIPOC, and that I did respect. I think they did a really good job for 8 people. I don't think you can ever really just tear up Once on this Island. It really is good material. It's such a beautiful story, and the music is so heartwarming. I think they did a beautiful job. I think definitely they have work to do for sure, and I think that the Bay Area needs to be a little bit careful when we do adult shows that are meant for Black folks.
What do you mean by that?
Because I think when you do it with children, because I did it with children, it makes sense because you don't have access to the characters that you would, and you're still storytelling.
And you're introducing them to material.
And you're educating them, because that's the bottom line, is to educate. But I think that when we get into the adult and the community shows, that we should be a little bit more specific, especially in the storyline. And I'll say that next to Legally Blonde, because somebody say, well, what's the difference, right? Maybe. I'm gonna say it. Somebody may have that argument,
and they could potentially have that argument. However, Legally Blonde was just a story,
right,
written from a white perspective, but it wasn't a white woman's specific story, right?
Bing.
Whereas Once on this Island is about colorism.
It is
within Black. The African diaspora.
Yes. And that's the difference. And that's why it's more important to be careful in the adult theaters to make sure that we're doing that.
Because there's so many layers within that. When we're talking about colorism within our community, you have to be, it's like, look at us. We're all 3 different complexions. And if you were a white woman, that would be a white woman, but you couldn't speak to the Black woman experience when it comes to your skin color. So it's really important for us to start working towards that.
Yes.
And thinking about it when we put it on our season, is it something that you can actually execute well done? Well, that doesn't make sense.
Well, and just hopefully the argument is that you're using isn't that you can't find any Black people.
No, because we're here.
We all over the place. We've been here.
Really
I've cast constantly.
We ain't going nowhere, and we ain't going back.
Moving on.
right.
Last but not least, we also attended the TBA conference. Congratulations to TBA for your conference you hold every year. Yes. It was called Roots Intertwined this year, and we were able to go in and talk to some of the Black artists that were holding the panels.
I wasn't there.
Ooh, Liz been working, y'all. We talked to Black artists that were speaking on the panels. We talked to Black artists that won awards. Yes. We actually had a good time. Besides it being 100,000 degrees that day,
hot up in
that
there.
was the week that San Francisco was having a heat wave, and we were hot as hell in the Z space. Yes. But they did provide us with cute little fans.
They did.
I think I have my fan.
Oh.
They provided us cute little fans to use while we were there, and I'm telling you, my wrist was hurting because my fan never stopped. But we had a good time at the TBA conference, so thank you, TBA, for always inviting us and having us a part of whatever you guys got going on. Thank you for believing us and then believing that we should be around.
Yeah, that was our second time being there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry that I missed out. It's just navigating.
Yeah.
Work.
All the jobs.
All the jobs.
And we'll be working with them more because we're looking for opportunities to partner with them.
Absolutely.
Differently as opposed to just showing up and doing that kind of stuff. So we're looking forward to those conversations that are coming.
Yes.
Oh, I can't find my fan.
Don't worry
that's
about
okay.
it.
We're going to move on.
So we're moving on to, can you put your butt, I would say ass, in a theater seat, please.
Please.
And we need more black bodies in those seats.
Okay, so this is an ongoing conversation. This conversation is something that is continuous because it's an issue that we continuously are bumping up against and that the theaters are also bumping up against as well. So how are we finding about shows? Let's just kind of start there. Like when you think about your show that you know about, where are you finding it from? Like where is the information coming from?
It varies because I get mailers.
Yes.
And sometimes
as do I.
the mailers come too soon. And so I forget about it. Or they come in the midst of lots going on.
Yeah.
I'm not on Facebook as much, which is where a lot of folks do that kind of advertising.
Yeah.
I'm on IG more.
Right.
A lot of folks don't use IG for that. So it's like word of mouth, which isn't always the best.
Mm-hmm. So how do you get on the mailing list, though? You would have had to have attended, right? You have to attend a show or...
No.
Well, how?
I know when I got interested in doing shows in the Bay Area, I Googled theaters within a 100-mile radius that I was willing to travel to.
Okay.
I did because I knew I was willing to travel that far to perform or see a show that I was interested in. When I did that, a bunch of theaters came up and I went to each website and logged in and got on their mailing list. That's when I started finding out where to audition and where to see shows. That's what I did. So now I get them in the emails, what show's coming up or whatever. I've also gone in every show that I've been in or worked or seen, I've started to follow them on IG. Mm-hmm. Now, some theaters are doing great with their social media networks. Others, not so well. And I think that theaters are having to do a little bit more work on their advertising, especially if they're doing black shows and are wanting black communities. And, you know, I'm going to get into this and holler about it and scream about it. You can't want a community to show up for you if you've never shown up for the community. So
Can you say that again, please?
You can't expect the community to show up for you if you do not show up for the community. Meaning, you want to go and go to a whole bunch of churches and put your flyers out about the black show that you have, but you've never gone to the church, you've never attended anything the church has to offer, you've never supported the church or given them money or given them anything other than your flyers.
Right.
That's not going to work, right? You have to be involved in the community that you're in. So that's how you get butts in seats. And you have to do the work. It has to be in your budget. You have to have a plan in order to get, especially black bodies, in the seats.
Sorry.
I just want to piggyback on that. And not just the black shows. So that's also the problematic part. They only gear their marketing to black audiences when it's a black show.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to go see it.
Well, yeah, but the storyline is good, right?
If you're telling a good story, everyone wants to see it. And the problem is that if it is a black story, then are you gearing that marketing to your white audience as well? Because they should see that show.
Well, they be in there, so they see.
Right.
They know where to find it.
I want your marketing to be
and
fully
other
inclusive.
people of other POCs as well too.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I was also going to say that think about that's great because Phaedra was actually speaking from an artist's point of view. But what about your average citizen who has a full life, who's in the Bay Area, who has no clue about what's going on? You have to think about how are they getting their information? Like where are they finding out about shows? I've seen shows like I've seen SFBATCO advertise on TV, like commercials, right?
No, a commercial on TV?
Yeah. I've seen SFBATCO. Yes. I've seen Rodney on TV talking about...
On the news?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Not the commercials.
Oh,
we can't afford a commercial.
Okay, well...
But we be on the news.
There have been Facebook ads.
We have Facebook ads.
I'm saying television. Sorry, like your news segment, your nightly news where there's a segment coming on.
Yes, we have been on segments. I did that with Crowns. Yes. I did that with SFBATCO show. Who else has done? Oh, Ray of Light did it with Legally Blonde. So it really is about networking and having those conversations, actually getting out there. But also Ray of Light, what I'm going to tell you straight up, Ray of Light made no flyers.
None.
No, I got no flyers for Ray of Light. You know what Ray of Light spent their money on?
What?
On billboards, on bus stops, on news ads. It's not about this. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting new results, right? Yeah. And we used to have cards at Ray of Light, but they said, you know what? We're going to do this differently. We want to widespread it. And it worked for them with that. So it also
sold out.
depends.
It did. It was, yeah.
It depends on the show, right?
Yeah.
It depends on the show that you're doing. Find things in the show. What is this? Who is this good for?
Yeah.
Is this a science
Yes.
show? Wow,
Yes.
let's market to science people.
Yes.
Let's go to the science department of UCSF.
Right.
Like you have to do the work
Yeah,
and be strategic.
Exactly. And why aren't you reaching out to like more schools? And I'm not just talking about elementary, middle school, and high school. I'm also talking about the local colleges as well.
Colleges, please.
Come
Yes,
on, like
yes.
It's an untapped market. They're untapped.
College
No,
students
you want to know who
see
an
that.
untapped market is? Them damn tech people.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That market is so untapped for me, and I'm so tired of trying to figure out how to tap it. But hey, I'm tapping.
I mean, we're in the Bay Area.
But we also have to tell a tech show, right? So then you have
They
to.
would've
but
loved
we have to
Nexodus.
network. But we have to network in those places.
Yep.
We have to go to their events. We have to show up to their stuff as actors. We have to offer what we can do. Hey, tech folks, do you need a commercial made, or do you need a HR video made? Or that's what I can provide for you. If you do this for me, there's a barter system.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
community.
Yeah, definitely. Building bridges, creating the opportunity to be seriously like heartfelt investment in the community. Like, do it with your heart. People know when you're just trying to finesse them. So come to people correct. Like, don't just try to use them just because. And don't always rely on them. Like, you all are intelligent people, and you know how to get the information that you need to discover and research what you need to do, right? So word of mouth still works, and I'm going to tell you why. So at my job, I was kind of like randomly talking about, like, oh yeah, I'm a lighting designer. I do X, Y, and Z. I have a coworker who is Nigerian American. Her family's from Nigeria. She was born there, but she was raised here. She's married. She has 2 small kids. And I was like, this would be great for you. And she was like, well, I live in Tracy. I said, you know what? This is what now I'm not telling you this is the exact route that you have to do, but because I am the lighting designer, the company that I worked for, Play Theater, was generous enough to offer me additional comps on top of the ones that I already used, because I said, I don't want that to be an issue for her. Not saying that she has any financial specific need, but it's out of a courtesy. She lives in Tracy, right? And she's coming all the way to San Francisco. That's over like an hour plus around a ride, right? She was like, wow, I never heard of this. I didn't know they were doing this in the theater. She loved it. She even brought a friend and her husband. So it was like 5 people who have never seen children's theater, 5 Black people of Nigerian descent. And so word of mouth still works. People are dying to know what you're into. So I also suggest just talking. Word of mouth is still like, it's some might be like, oh, well, that's old fashioned. The gift of gab will have you put in some more butts and seats as well.
Even influencers. We've hired influencers that are Bay Area, like, oh, I'm an influencer. Go talk to those influencers. Get your stuff on their pages. That's important too. Some of your cast are influencers.
Oh, yes.
What a thought.
Some of your cast have
What a thought.
podcasts.
Yeah.
Just
Hello.
saying.
Moving on.
All right.
So, my very
I gotta take
favorite part of the show has arrived.
Center Stage Shade.
Ooh. What is Center Stage Shade, Liz?
Oh, creatively got shaded. Ooh. The Divas, that's us, are in the center of the shade.
Uh-oh, put the spotlight on us. What had happened was,
Somebody
ShawnJ.
did. Tell us.
What happened, ShawnJ?
I don't know.
Yes, you did. Okay.
Oh, well, I guess I gotta know. I was being
You
coy.
so petty.
So apparently, here's the deal. We go to see shows, and our goal is to support all Black theater. And in doing that, we go to shows, and we're in the audience. And sometimes we are artists, and we also taking in that experience. And sometimes that experience is not as we desire it to be. And sometimes at a certain juncture in the show, during intermission,
We leave.
we've left.
ShawnJ is trying to put it to you nice. If I don't like something, I'm not staying for it. And I'm going to courteously, what is the word?
Courteously
leave at intermission.
Yes.
That doesn't put shade on you. It doesn't put shade on me. It doesn't influence anybody in the audience. No one has to know what happened with me in that show unless I care to share it. And most times I don't.
And we don't.
And I
won't.
don't talk bad about that show. If somebody asks me, oh no, and I might say, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it. I may not have liked the book. I didn't like the actors who portrayed them. There's option times that I cannot like something. I'm entitled to not like something.
Exactly. We're like regular audience members too. And sometimes also not just regular audience members, we come with different lenses. And sometimes we see a show way differently, and sometimes we can't let go. Like as a director, I can sit down and try to watch a show, and I will go, why is stage right in the dark?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and sometimes I have to tell myself, let
just
that go.
see the show.
And I can do that. However, there are times when I'm watching a show and it just doesn't grab me. And I'm lost. I'm like going, this isn't the show for me.
Really confused.
And I will leave at intermission. I have done that on numerous occasions, and people have done it to me on times. And that's expected, and that's okay. The thing is, what I won't do and what we haven't done is when we have left a show, and y'all only did it once.
I've done it one time.
I've done it.
We're going to get there. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Keep going.
But I still say, hey, go see the show, form your own opinion. But I don't add anything to the end. Like, I don't say, I didn't like it. I just say, hey, go see it, form your own opinion. You may enjoy it. I don't let them know I left at intermission because I don't need to share that.
Yeah.
Right? But if it's really
unless somebody asks me.
Right.
And apparently, the three of us went to see a show. We didn't enjoy it. We all left at intermission. Clearly, our presence was
and
felt.
it was my idea.
And we agreed.
I didn't get
Y'all agreed, but I said I'm going.
We were all thinking the same thing. He just voiced it.
Yeah.
So we left, and that's how we're in the center of the shade. Is how are they going to be viewing and reviewing shows if they're leaving and there's a black? Again, we say, one, this is our show. We can talk about whatever we want to. That's the benefit of having your own show,
your own podcast that you produce,
and do everything for it. Moving on.
And we're not reviewers.
No, but I'm going to review if I feel like it because that's what we can do on this show. So there's our center stage shade. We will come and see your show. It's not often that we, like, literally in all the shows that are on this table.
It was one. We've
walked out of one. Okay? So we are there to support you. We are there to congratulate you. But if I'm not feeling it, it's okay. That's what audiences are for. Yeah. If somebody's not feeling you on TV, they turn you off. Like,
absolutely. And the thing of it is that kind of really irked me was there was an implication that we don't support black theater. And that is a lie.
That don't even make sense.
Of the darkest hell. Don't even get me started on how I've witnessed countless of other shades of people on the alabaster side walk out of many a show, even before intermission, brutally, as people were performing and acting. So don't try it.
Oh, y'all done pissed off.
Don't try that.
Moving on.
Come back to us, Liz. Come back. Come back from the dark side.
All right. So what's up next? What should you be out there going to see? Because we're going to be seeing it too.
Hold on, because I got to read.
I know you got mad. You got real mad, friend.
Okay, so.
Hot as fish grease.
We love you, Bay Area. JaJa's African Hair Braiding, the West Coast premiere at Berkeley Rep, written by Jocelyn Beale, directed by Whitney White. Whitney White is this amazing, I don't know much about her, but she is a black woman who is doing her thing, directing and whatnot. So, step into the vibrant world of this beloved Harlem hotspot where West African immigrant braiders work their magic on the locals' locks. Amidst the lively buzz of a scorching summer, love ignites, dreams soar, and secrets unravel. Beneath the surface lies a current of uncertainty, pushing this close-knit community to confront the challenges of being outsiders in their own neighborhood. On stage, November 8th through December 15th. Tickets at berkeleyrep.org.
What you should also see, of course, is the 4th New Roots Theater Festival. I believe it's our 3rd. But it's okay.
Got that from
I might be wrong too. Pray for me.
She wrong.
Anyway, SFBATCO is holding their New Roots Theater Festival. There is 75 plus Bay Area artists involved in this one weekend of shows. There's 13 dynamic performances and 5 new projects over one weekend. The New Roots is a 4-day artist festival that unearths artistic voices in the Bay Area and celebrates the development of new work and centers BIPOC and LGBTQIA plus voices. The lineup features 2 SFBATCO commissions, which is one SFBATCO's co-production, which is presented by Z Space, and a showcase of works from the Creators Lab program, which I was also a part of.
Oh, okay.
I was in the first or second creator, I don't remember. But I was in the Creators Lab program where I wrote Sister Friend.
Oh, okay. Nice.
All 5 of these dynamic projects are in various stages of development, and the festival's offerings range from stage readings to fully memorized workshops and productions. On stage will be November the 14th through the 17th. One weekend only, everybody. Tickets are at sfbatco.org.
Next up is the Thanksgiving play at the Altarena Playhouse in Alameda, directed by my good friend Kimberly Ridgway. It runs October 24th through November 24th, and it is from Larissa Fast Horse, the first known female Native American playwright on Broadway. This wickedly funny satire cleverly shows how good intentions and cultural assumptions collide when a troupe of misguided teaching artists scrambles to create a pageant that somehow manages to celebrate both Thanksgiving Day and Native American Heritage Month.
A Red Carol, SF Mime Troupe in cooperation with Z Space featuring Valina Brown.
All right.
An activist adaptation based on A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, adapted for the stage and directed by Michael Gene Sullivan. Okay. 6 people telling the story, playing all the roles in an abandoned industrial space. This isn't your average feel-good Christmas tale, but it was never supposed to be. With music, joy, and plenty of harsh truths about his time and ours, A Red Carol is the demand for economic and social justice Dickens wanted then and we need now. On stage, December 14th through the 29th. Tickets at sfmt.org.
All right.
Yeah, so if we missed something, hit us up in our inboxes.
I missed the location for getting the Thanksgiving play tickets at altarena.org.
Oh, great.
Okay. So you guys have plenty of things to go out there and see. We are so excited that you have joined us on Creatively Shaded, episode 1 of season 2. Ooh,
we are cooking with gas now. We are back, and our goal is to be more frequent with you all.
Yes, absolutely.
But please be patient with us because we got a lot going on, as you all are as well.
Yeah, we love you guys so much. Thank you for all of your support.
Yes.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Send us questions that you may have.
Yeah, because we're moving into the shade. We got something special for that. We're changing it a little bit.
Yeah, we want to be more active on social media.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing our Into the Shade questions on IG.
Oh,
right.
Come see us on IG. Talk about Into the Shade. Let's get a little shady.
But with your questions. Okay.
Okay.
And I think that's it for it.
That is it for
Oh
us.
my gosh. So hang in there, stay fierce, fabulous, and focused. And as always, stay black.
Black.
Bye
with a
now.
Capital B. And don't forget to vote.
Yes. VOTE. Vote. Everyone counts.
That's right. Bye.